I think the most important thing in life is love. You want to know what I love?
Beer, Norm?
Yeah, have a quick one.
So May 20th was the final scene of Cheers, with all the gang back in 1993, with of course Ted Danson as bartender Sam Malone, and George Wendt as the lovable regular Norm Peterson. Unfortunately, George passed away peacefully in his LA home May 20th, which is very ironic, the same day 32 years ago after that beloved finale.
Well, Sammy, I love that stool. If there's a heaven, I don't want to go there unless my stool is waiting for me. And I'll tell you what, even God better not be on it.
Mourning George's passing, Ted Danson told the New York Post, quote, "I am devastated to hear that George is no longer with us," said Danson, who played main character and bar owner Sam Malone. "I'm sending all my love to his wife, Bernadette, and the children. It is going to take me a long time to get used to this. I love you, Georgie." Ted Danson also praised the cast of Cheers after accepting his Carol Burnett Award just this year in January.
For 11 years on Cheers, I got to go to work every day and giggle with my friends, Shelley Long, Kirstie Alley, Rhea Perlman, George Wendt, John Ratzenberger, Kelsey Grammer, Bebe Neuwirth, Nick Colasanto, and Woody Harrelson. And they are also the reason why I'm standing here. So, to them.
The most iconic bar in television history. Cheers!
Some of the most iconic cast of Cheers got together to celebrate the show last year at the Emmy Awards.
This feels really nice to be here in front of all of you. Thank you.
Look, Ted, don't you just think of it as a long overdue class reunion?
Well, we are lucky. Phew, gosh.
Yeah.
John Ratzenberger shared his thoughts on the passing of George, saying, "I'm heartbroken to hear about the passing of my friend George Wendt. For 30 years on Cheers, we shared a stage, a lot of laughs, and a front row seat to one of television's most beloved friendships. George brought Norm to life with a subtle brilliance, the kind that made it look easy. That was his gift."
What's all the commotion about?
Who cares? Set him up, Wood.
He was a true craftsman, humble, hilarious, and full of heart. What you saw on screen was exactly who he was off screen, with impeccable comedic timing and a deep loyalty to those he loved. I'll miss our conversations and the quiet moments of friendship that meant the most.
Being together brings back some great memories of a show we're all very proud of.
Kelsey Grammer called into the Gayle King SiriusXM show to speak on George's passing just this week.
It was a bit of a surprise. You know, George was a lovely guy. It's still odd to speak him with, in a past tense right now, but it was just yesterday morning we found out.
Grim, bloodless ghoul whose bony finger reaches out to tap you on the shoulder when your number's up.
Fraser, it's time to go.
I was just sitting writing something at the moment I got a call, but I spoke to his family yesterday and just told them how much I liked him and, choked up a little bit. But George was hysterical. For 11 years, America waited for him to walk into a bar every Thursday night and say something funny.
How about a beer, Norm?
Hey, I'm high on life, Coach. Of course, beer is my life.
And I just knew he wouldn't disappoint.
What's new, Normie? Terrorists, Sam. They've taken over my stomach. They're demanding beer.
He was extraordinary. He'd sort of just lope across that floor and sit down at that stool and order that beer and say something that set the world on fire. He was an extraordinary guy.
Norm!
Now, you idiot.
Yeah, and if somebody has the envelope, we can present the award.
That one right here.
Rhea Perlman spoke out about George, saying, "George Wendt was the sweetest, kindest man I've ever met. It was impossible not to like him. As Carla, I was often standing next to him, as Norm always took the same seat at the end of the bar, which made it easy to grab him and beat the crap out of him at least once a week. I loved doing it, and he loved pretending it didn't hurt. What a guy. I'll miss him more than words can say."
Georgie Porgy.
Boston's original Cheers bar on Beacon Street held a special tribute to the late actor, reserving a stool in honor of George just this past Tuesday. Now, of course, the show was a little bit before my time, but I'm very lucky that I got to be just out of that generation to be able to appreciate a lot of the sitcoms from the 60s to the 90s. There was the iconic stool, the iconic theme song. George's character is just so hilarious, how he's like so well known by the locals, which made you feel like part of the community. And of course, you can't forget the iconic Norm! Which was never actually in the script and actually turned into like an ongoing gag. But Norm is so iconic. He was celebrated in Family Guy, The Simpsons, and even inspiring a Star Trek character named Morn, which is like Norm backwards.
Think about it, Sam.
Well, rest in peace to the icon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and ta-ta for now.
Sorry, we're closed.